You don't work hard enough. That's the first bitter pill you need to swallow. You think staying up until 2 a.m. watching success videos makes you a hustler. It doesn't. That's called delusion. Hard work isn't about talking, it's about doing. You scroll on your phone more than you execute. You dream more than you act. And while you're busy convincing yourself that you're grinding, someone else is actually grinding. You hit the gym twice a week and think you're disciplined. You post a motivational quote and think you're inspiring. But when it's time to put in real effort, hours of studying, building, failing, learning, you flinch, you retreat. Because the truth is, your definition of hard work is a joke. You want applause without pain. You want to look successful without being successful. You want the results of giants while working like a featherweight. You brag about potential, but potential without action is just a lie you tell yourself to feel better about being average. You don't need more motivation, you need more execution. Until your calendar is filled with non-negotiable grind, until your comfort zone becomes your enemy, and until laziness disgusts you, you don't deserve to call yourself hardworking. You don't work hard, not yet. But if you want to stop being average, that's exactly where the transformation starts. You crave comfort like an addict craves his next hit. That's the real reason you're still average. You've built your life around avoiding discomfort. You won't wake up early because your bed is warm. You won't push harder at the gym because your muscles hurt. You won't take risks because failing scares you. You avoid anything that makes you uncomfortable. And in doing so, you avoid everything that makes you grow. You want the rewards of warriors, but you walk the path of the soft. Growth doesn't come from comfort. It comes from pressure, pain, stress, and the kind of sacrifice that makes your stomach turn. But you run from all of that. You protect your little routines, your safe habits, your feel-good excuses. You act like you're taking care of yourself, but really you're just avoiding the fire. You don't need more comfort. You need war. You need to put yourself in situations where quitting feels easier than continuing, and then keep going. Because every time you avoid discomfort, you tell the universe you're not ready for more. And guess what? The universe listens. That's why you're stuck. That's why you're not leveling up. Because you're too scared to sweat, bleed, and break your limits. Until you start choosing hard over easy, sacrifice over pleasure, and growth over comfort, you will remain exactly where you are average. You lie to yourself every single day, and you've gotten so good at it, you actually believe the nonsense coming out of your own mouth. You tell yourself you're trying. You tell yourself it's just not your time yet. You tell yourself you'll start tomorrow, next week, next year, always later, never now. You convince yourself that you're working on it, when in reality, you're doing the bare minimum and hoping life rewards you like you're doing the maximum. You throw around words like self-care and mental health as excuses to be lazy. You act like avoiding hard work is healing. You act like procrastination is strategy. You even tell yourself that you're not ready, that the timing isn't right, or that you're just waiting for the perfect opportunity. Let me break it to you. There is no perfect time. There's just you lying to yourself because deep down you're scared to face who you really are. You'd rather protect your fragile ego than destroy your weaknesses. That's why you scroll endlessly instead of building something. That's why you talk about your goals instead of attacking them. That's why you keep lying to yourself, because it's easier to believe a comfortable lie than face a brutal truth. But that truth doesn't go away. It haunts you at night. It whispers in your head when you're alone. You know you're not doing enough. You know you're capable of more. But until you stop lying to yourself, you will stay exactly where you are, average, stagnant, and invisible. You hang around losers and you wonder why your life feels like it's going nowhere. Look around you. Who are your closest friends? What do they talk about? What do they do with their time? If your circle spends more time gossiping, partying, playing video games, and chasing short-term dopamine than building, growing, and evolving, then congratulations, you've found your tribe and they're all average. You absorb the mindset of the people you surround yourself with. If your friends make excuses, you'll make excuses. If they avoid discomfort, so will you. If they hate discipline, you'll hate it too. Energy is contagious, and right now you're infected with mediocrity. You're addicted to being accepted by people who have no vision, no ambition, no hunger. You stay around them because they make you feel safe, because they don't challenge you, because they let you stay soft. But comfort is a prison, and these people are the bars. You can't expect to live like a lion when you run with sheep. Winners make you uncomfortable. They make you question yourself. They make you feel behind. And that's exactly why you avoid them. Because being around someone with real discipline exposes your laziness. Being around someone with real results reminds you that you've been wasting time. But guess what? That's what you need. You need to feel the pressure. You need to be the dumbest, weakest, brokest person in the room, because only then will you feel the urgency to grow. So if your circle isn't pushing you, challenging you, or inspiring you, then it's not a circle, it's a cage. Cut them off or stay average. Simple. You have no discipline. That's the cold, hard truth. You think you're consistent because you show up once in a while, but real discipline isn't about showing up when you feel like it. It's about showing up when you don't. You say you want success, but you can't even follow your own damn schedule. You snooze your alarm every morning like your dreams can wait. You skip workouts because you're tired. You break your diet the second temptation shows up. You start things and never finish them. You say you're going to change your life, and 2 days later you're back to your old habits. That's not discipline. That's weakness masked as effort. Discipline is doing what needs to be done long after the mood has left. It's showing up even when it's boring, painful, or repetitive. You want motivation? Discipline eats motivation for breakfast. Because motivation fades, it's temporary. Discipline is what carries you through when the hype dies. But you don't have that yet. You want to be great, but you still move like an amateur. You still break promises to yourself and act like it doesn't matter. Every time you choose comfort over consistency, you're proving to yourself that your word means nothing. That's why you have no confidence. Because deep down, you know you can't trust yourself. You know you won't follow through. And until you fix that, until your actions match your words every single day, you'll stay stuck. You'll keep watching others win while you sit on the sidelines blaming luck, timing, or fate. But it's not any of those things. It's just this: you have no discipline. Not yet. You don't invest in yourself. And that's exactly why your life looks the way it does: ordinary, predictable, and stuck. You spend money like a fool on things that give you nothing back. New clothes, fast food, endless subscriptions, the latest gadget, all to impress people who don't even care. But when it comes to buying a book, taking a course, hiring a coach, or learning a skill that could actually change your life, suddenly you're broke. Suddenly it's too expensive or not the right time. You'll drop 100 on a night out without thinking. But investing that same money into your growth feels like a risk. You're not broke. You're just prioritizing trash. You have no problem wasting hours watching content. But when it's time to apply what you've learned, you disappear. You want to be successful, but you treat your mind like it's worthless. You want freedom, but you never sharpen your skills. You want wealth, but you never learn about money. Here's the truth: your income will never outgrow your mindset. And your mindset will never evolve if you keep treating it like an afterthought. The best investment you will ever make is in yourself, your knowledge, your health, your discipline, your network. But you ignore that. You act like growth is optional, like you have time to waste. And that's why you're still average. Because while others are building themselves, sharpening their tools, and stacking value, you're just getting older, not better. Every day you don't invest in yourself is another day you fall behind. That's the cost of your laziness. You want the rewards without the sacrifice. And that's why you're stuck in the same place, dreaming about a life you'll never live. You want the car, the house, the lifestyle, the admiration, but you don't want to pay the price. You want to shine without the grind. You want results without the suffering that produces them. You watch successful people and think, I deserve that, but you've done nothing to deserve it. You think you're different, special, chosen, but you're not. Not until you prove it through pain, through sacrifice, through years of silent effort. You want to be respected, but you avoid every situation that demands courage. You want money, but you fear pressure and responsibility. You want power, but you can't even master your own habits. You think you're putting in work, but deep down you know you're coasting, taking shortcuts, dodging adversity, pretending to hustle while looking for the easiest path. But the truth is, there is no cheat code, no hack, no shortcut. Everything you want lives on the other side of sacrifice. That means late nights, early mornings, missed parties, broken comfort zones, and daily discipline so intense it breaks the old version of you. It means doing what 99% of people refuse to do. But you're scared of that kind of sacrifice. You want the prize without the process. You think success is some magical event that happens one day if you just stay positive. No, success is earned in blood, sweat, isolation, and relentless consistency. Until you embrace that, you'll keep living in the fantasy of success instead of ever touching the real thing. You fear criticism more than you fear failure, and that fear is exactly why you're still average. You care too much about what people think. You're scared someone might laugh. judge or disagree with you, so you keep your head down and your voice quiet. You've got ideas, goals, ambition, but you never act on them because deep down you're terrified someone might not approve. You want to post content, start that business, speak your truth. But the moment you imagine someone rolling their eyes, you back off. That's weakness. You sacrifice your future just to avoid being uncomfortable for 5 minutes. You'd rather fit in than stand out, even if that means betraying your potential. You think staying quiet will protect you, but all it's doing is keeping you invisible. The people you admire, the ones who are actually living the life you dream of, they got there because they stopped giving a damn about outside opinions. They took the hits. They got macaque. They were doubted, but they moved anyway. You let one negative comment ruin your day. You let fear of judgment keep you silent. That's why you're stuck. That's why your voice isn't heard, your talents aren't seen, and your progress is slow. Because every time you choose approval over authenticity, you lose. Every time you shrink to avoid criticism, you hand your power over to someone who isn't even brave enough to chase their own dreams. Until you learn to stand tall, take the heat, and let people talk, your life will remain small. Criticism isn't the enemy. Cowardice is. Here's the brutal conclusion: you are where you are because of you. Not your parents, not your friends, not your circumstances. Every excuse you've ever made, every opportunity you've let pass, every time you chose comfort over growth, that was you. And until you take full ownership, nothing changes. You're not unlucky, you're undisciplined. You're not misunderstood, you're lazy. You're not stuck, you're scared. The truth is, average isn't something that just happens to you. It's something you choose through your habits, your mindset, your actions, and your refusal to do what's necessary. But here's the good news. The moment you decide to stop lying to yourself, stop surrounding yourself with weakness, stop chasing comfort, and start living with discipline, pain, sacrifice, and purpose, that's the moment everything begins to shift. No one's coming to save you. No one's going to do it for you. So stop waiting, stop hoping, stop dreaming, start doing. You either stay average and keep watching others live the life you want, or you wake up, grow up, and take it for yourself. The choice has always been yours.